She was just an intern. Until the chairman's mother chose her. Chapter 1, My First Day. The first day of my internship at Evercrest Holdings was supposed to be the beginning of my career. Instead, it nearly became the day I quit. My name is Emily Tan, a final-year business student from Singapore. My widowed mother worked as a nurse, and every dollar mattered. Landing an internship at one of Asia's largest hospitality and property companies felt like winning the lottery. Everyone around me seemed confident. Designer handbags, tailored suits, luxury watches. I carried a second-hand laptop and wore shoes I'd polished the night before. Interns are over there. The receptionist barely looked up. Her name tag read Vanessa. She pointed toward a tiny waiting area. I quietly thanked her. Little did I know, someone else was also starting work that morning. Chapter 2, The New Management Trainee. You're late. The HR manager frowned at a tall young man walking in with messy hair and a backpack. I'm only 3 minutes late. You'll fit right in with the interns. He smiled. His name was Daniel Lim. Everyone assumed he was another graduate in the management trainee program. Nobody knew he was actually the chairman's only son. His father believed Daniel needed to earn respect instead of inheriting it. For 6 months, nobody outside the chairman and HR director would know his identity. Daniel loved the idea. He wanted people to treat him normally. That's exactly how he met me. Chapter 3, Coffee and Kindness. We kept bumping into each other. The coffee machine. The printer. The cafeteria. You always eat the cheapest meal? Daniel asked. I have a budget. So do I. I laughed. I don't believe you. He opened his wallet. Inside were exactly $20. My dad says if I can survive on an intern's allowance, I'll appreciate the company. Your father sounds strict. He is. Neither of us realized how true that statement was. Soon we became friends. Working late. Sharing project ideas. Helping each other prepare presentations. For the first time since university, work didn't feel lonely. Before we continue with the story, I hope you love what Drama Spark brings you. This story is created by Pearl. Please remember to subscribe and like so that we can continue to create more stories. Chapter 4, The Elderly Lady Nobody Wanted. One rainy Tuesday, I was sent downstairs to collect documents. That's when I noticed an elderly woman standing quietly at reception. She looked elegant despite wearing a simple cardigan. I'd like to see Mr. Lim. Vanessa sighed dramatically. Do you have an appointment? No. Then you can't go up. I've come here for 40 years. I'm sorry. Company policy. The elderly lady smiled politely. I understand. She turned to leave. Then Vanessa whispered loudly enough for everyone to hear. These old people always think they know someone important. Several visitors laughed. The elderly woman's shoulders lowered. Something about that broke my heart. Chapter 5, One Simple Act. I walked over immediately. Ma'am, are you all right? She smiled. I'm fine. You look tired. She admitted she'd taken the bus because she preferred public transport. She had been waiting almost an hour. Please sit. I bought her tea using my own lunch money. Vanessa rolled her eyes. You shouldn't encourage random visitors. I ignored her. The elderly lady thanked me repeatedly. What department are you in? I'm just an intern. Just? I smiled. I suppose everyone starts somewhere. She chuckled. I like that answer. Chapter 6, Daniel Notices. Daniel found me talking to the elderly lady. You skipped lunch? I bought tea instead. He glanced at the woman. She reminded him of someone. But he couldn't quite place it. The elderly lady studied Daniel carefully. So you're new? Yes. She smiled mysteriously. I thought so. She knew exactly who he was. After all, she was his grandmother. But she said nothing. She wanted to observe. Chapter 7, The Secret Shareholder. The following week, chaos erupted. An emergency board meeting had been called. Rumors spread throughout the company. The biggest shareholder is coming. The chairman's mother. The company founder. Employees rushed around preparing. I nearly dropped my files when I walked into the boardroom. Sitting beside the chairman was the elderly lady I'd bought tea for. She smiled warmly. Hello again, Emily. Every executive stood respectfully. The chairman introduced her. This is Madam Lim, founder of Evercrest Holdings. My face turned bright red. Vanessa nearly fainted. Chapter 8, Truths Revealed. After the meeting, Madam Lim requested to see me. You treated me kindly before you knew who I was. I was only helping. Exactly. She smiled. That is why kindness matters. She also requested security footage from reception. The recordings confirmed Vanessa had repeatedly humiliated elderly visitors. Within days, she was dismissed after multiple complaints surfaced. Not because of one incident. Because the footage revealed a long pattern of disrespect. Madam Lim believed every visitor deserved dignity. Especially those who couldn't defend themselves. Chapter 9, Falling in Love. Daniel and I continued working together. Nothing changed. Except, everything had changed. Late nights became evening walks. Coffee became dinner. Friendship slowly became love. One evening beside Marina Bay, Daniel finally spoke. I like you. I looked down. I like you too. He smiled. You don't even know everything about me. I don't need to. I hope you'll say that again later. Chapter 10, The Chairman's Son. A month later, Daniel finally told me the truth. My full name is Daniel Lim Wei Han. I smiled. I know. You knew? Your grandmother accidentally called you by your full name. He laughed. So you're the chairman's son. Are you angry? I was surprised. Do you think differently about me? I shook my head. You still buy the cheapest lunch. You noticed. I notice everything. He realized then. She had fallen in love with him. Not his family. Not his wealth. Just him. Chapter 11, Family Opposition. Unfortunately, not everyone approved. Daniel's father remained silent. But his aunt was blunt. An intern? She's after the family fortune. Our family has standards. Daniel defended me. You've never even spoken to her. I don't need to. Madam Lim interrupted. Then perhaps you should. The room fell silent. Nobody argued with Grandma. She still owned 38% of the company. Even the chairman respected her decisions. Chapter 12, Grandma's Test. Madam Lim invited me to lunch. Not at a luxury restaurant. At a hawker center. We talked for 3 hours. About family. Dreams. Failure. Hard work. She asked one final question. If Daniel inherited nothing tomorrow, would you still marry him? I answered immediately. Yes. She smiled. I hoped you'd say that. What if he chose another career? I'd support him. What if he became poor? I laughed. We'd still have hawker food. For the first time in years. Madam Lim laughed until tears filled her eyes. Chapter 13, The Final Board Meeting. Weeks later, the annual shareholders meeting arrived. Executives expected discussions about profits. Instead, Madam Lim requested the microphone. I founded this company with my late husband. She looked around the room. We built hotels. But more importantly, we built values. She paused. The future leaders of this company must understand one truth. Character matters more than status. Then she surprised everyone. She announced that Emily would receive a full scholarship for postgraduate studies and a permanent position after graduation, not because she was dating Daniel, but because her internship evaluations consistently ranked among the highest in the company. Finally, she turned toward her son. And Daniel, if this is the woman you've chosen, you have chosen well. Even the chairman smiled. For the first time, the entire family applauded. Chapter 14, A New Beginning. 2 years later, Daniel officially became executive director. I joined the company's leadership development program. We worked in different departments to avoid favoritism. Madam Lim insisted on it. Love is personal. Business must remain professional. On our wedding day, Grandma walked slowly toward me. She placed her late husband's wedding ring into my hands. I wasn't looking for someone rich for my grandson. I was looking for someone kind. She gently squeezed my hand. You proved that on your very first day. Epilogue. Years later, every receptionist at Evercrest Holdings received the same training. Treat every visitor with respect. You never know who they are. More importantly, you never know who needs your kindness that day. Emily never imagined that buying 1 cup of tea would change her future. Daniel never expected to meet the love of his life while pretending to be an ordinary trainee. And Madam Lim never forgot the young intern who defended an elderly stranger without expecting anything in return. Sometimes love begins with a grand gesture. Sometimes It begins with a simple act of kindness. Because in the end, true wealth isn't measured by the number of shares you own. It's measured by the kindness you show when nobody is watching. The end. I hope you love what Drama Spark bring you. Story is written by Pearl. Please remember to subscribe and like so that we can continue to create more stories.